Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you guys are. So, guys, just to get into it quickly, Virgil Hunter, Mr. Virgil Hunter has made some comments about Mr. Amir Khan. Virgil Hunter basically said that Amir Khan was ruined by Canelo Alvarez, that Amir Khan got knocked out by Canelo Alvarez. I think he was asked a question about Spence and Crawford and said that you've obviously fought Crawford with Amir Khan and Virgil Hunter. And I don't think Virgil Hunter left Amir Khan on good terms. I feel like Virgil Hunter probably feels he got thrown under the bus a little bit he felt that Amir Khan was never that dedicated to sport. I think he said this many times now. And he's criticized Amir Khan quite a few times that he wasn't really dedicated to the sport. And he basically said that I think more Virgil Hunter criticizes Khan because he probably thinks that he had a talent and he could have achieved so much with him, and unfortunately he didn't manage to get the best out of him. So I think Virgil Hunter probably has a bit of bitterness there towards Khan, probably because he feels he could have done so much more with him, and unfortunately because of Khan's lack of dedication, according to Hunter, that affected what Khan achieved with Hunter. So Hunter probably is a bit bitter because what you got to understand is like after Andre Ward, Virgil Hunter hasn't really produced another, you would say, successful fighter where he's gone on to have, like, Khan's did well with him, but he never really even won a title under Virgil Hunter. Khan's success title-wise came under Freddie Roach. So Hunter probably feels that this guy wasn't dedicated to the game, and he probably feels that, that he could have achieved so much more. I don't think it's a case where he's having a go at Khan. I just think he's just being honest. Now that, Khan's not paying him and he's not training him anymore, Virgil Hunter's just got to be honest. But it does definitely seem like, Virgil Hunter's being honest by taking shots at Khan. Normally, when you work with a fighter, normally a trainer's quite complimentary, unless like they have a split up which was not very amicable. In this case, I don't think Khan's had a bust up with him or anything, or it wasn't amicable. I just think it's a case where Virgil Hunter probably feels that he could have got so much more. He could have achieved so much more with Khan. And he's criticized him about him being dedicated. But I guess, look, when Khan came to Hunter, he was already a multi-millionaire. He was already somebody very successful. Now, Amir Khan wanted the big fights. After Amir Khan fought Canelo and he got knocked out, really there was nothing left for Khan in the game because Khan had been to the top. He had been to the top and he kind of lost motivation. When he got knocked out by Canelo, there was no motivation there for Khan anymore because he's kind of feel like, I'm not going to get a Mayweather fight. I'm not going to get a Pacquiao fight. That's the fights that I wanted. And unfortunately, they never came off. So Khan was probably thinking, and then I think the biggest killer was that Amir Khan took 2 years out the game. When he took 2 years out the game, got knocked out by Canelo, that was him done. I think Virgil Hunter said that Amir Khan was done after Canelo. And crazy thing was that in this interview, Brooke was there because I think they were interviewing 4 or 5 other people. That it was like a video conference, you know what I mean? Like there was about 6 other people there, and Kell Brook was there. And I would have been, interesting to see what Kell Brook was thinking in his head about it, because obviously that discredits his win in a way where he's basically saying that Amir Khan was done after Canelo, and how long after Canelo did Khan fight Brook. So obviously that any fight that Khan had after that, everybody knows that he was a past his best, washed up at that point. Khan was not the same fighter after Canelo. I think his days at world level had finished after Canelo. I think when he fought Canelo, he was on the slide, but he was still a very good fighter. The sad thing is that I think Amir Khan, you can look at it 2 ways, that the Canelo fight was a huge payday, but you got to look at it the other way, that Amir Khan was already very wealthy prior to fighting Canelo. It does make you think that why did he take that fight? Even though it was a big payday, like I said, Khan was already financially in a great position. He wasn't like it was in a Brook situation where Brook fought Golovkin because he hadn't had the big paydays. Khan had already had big paydays. He could have fought guys at welterweight in winnable fights, because you look at the Khan that fought Canelo. Khan was giving Canelo a lot of issues in that fight. I mean, that wasn't an easy fight for Canelo, right? up until he got, inevitably what happened was going to happen because Canelo was too big, too strong. And overall, you'd say Canelo was more complete fighter. However, at welterweight, there was a lot of guys there that Khan could have beat, and there was guys like Danny Garcia, who I would have loved to have seen Amir have a rematch with, who I would have favored Khan in the rematch against Danny Garcia. There was other guys out there, Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman probably not so. I think Keith Thurman may have beaten Khan, but that would have been a great fight. Not to say Khan couldn't beat him. That would have been a great fight. I think there was other fights out there, the Brook fight. There was other fights out there that Khan could have had that were winnable fights, and Amir Khan should have taken those fights. And I think that's where Virgil Hunter, because Virgil Hunter said that I was totally against the Canelo fight. Virgil Hunter said that. I think Virgil Hunter probably should have been a lot more stern. But the thing is with Virgil Hunter, what you got to understand is he's a trainer. So he's going to get a cut. He's going to get a payday from that Khan-Canelo split. He's going to get a cut from that. Now, that payday was so big that Virgil Hunter might have got near $1 million for that. So as a trainer, how can he turn that down? He's not going to turn that down because he's going to get a huge payday himself. Right? But for me, Virgil Hunter probably should have been more stern, because Amir Khan could have fought guys at welterweight. And I think Virgil Hunter said that I wanted Amir Khan to fight top guys at welterweight then, because he was ready. After Collazo Alexander, basically what Virgil Hunter said, that he was ready for the big names at welterweight. I know he fought Algieri, didn't look good, but I think Khan, again, after the Alexander performance, he thought he was going to get Mayweather. He didn't get Mayweather. After that, Khan went off the rails. I don't think he was in the gym. When he fought Collazo and Alexander, they were two of his best performances. The reason why, because Khan was in the gym for a very long time. He hadn't left the gym. He was living in America after that, and the Algieri performance that he had was very poor. The reason why he was very poor, because Khan wasn't in the gym. He came in just for training camp, from what the rumors are. And Virgil Hunter wasn't happy about that. So I think that's what really irritated Virgil Hunter. And then obviously he took the Canelo fight after the Algieri fight, which effectively Virgil Hunter was apparently against. How insistent and how forceful he was with Khan not to take that fight, only he knows. But he basically says that I think that was just a completely wrong fight for him, and that ended his career. And because I remember Virgil Hunter a while back saying that Amir Khan should have fought top welterweights like Porter, Brook, Garcia. He was ready for those fights. But unfortunately, Khan decided to take the Canelo fight, and I was totally against it. Like I said, I think that's why Virgil Hunter feels that he could have achieved so much more with Khan. But I think the Canelo fight was one where you kind of knew that the outcome was going to be inevitable, and you always knew that his career could go down. And that's why Virgil Hunter was probably against it, because Virgil Hunter said there was no margin for error in that fight. There was no margin for error. Literally everything was stacked in Canelo's favor. Firstly, Canelo had the advantage that he's overall the more complete boxer. Khan could outbox him, but Canelo's more complete. Eventually, he's going to find a way, and he's going to break Khan down, especially with using his size advantage. So Khan was always up against it. Then the rehydration clause and all of that, nothing was there for Khan. It was all stacked in Canelo's favor. So Virgil Hunter was saying that there's no margin for error here. So you've got no chance. And that's why Virgil was so against it. Unfortunately, the payday was so great. And like I said, at that point, Amir Khan's probably love for the sport wasn't there. It was more a business move in the sense that he's probably like, it's a big fight. My name's up in lights. I'm going to get a massive payday. I think it was more his team that probably forced him into it. Because Amir Khan at that point probably it wasn't a case where he was looking to have a career at that point, where he was thinking, let me get to the top at welterweight or win titles. He had already done that. He didn't really care about that at that point. It was more about getting the big fights. That's what Khan cared at that point. And that really hurt Khan's legacy, really, because I think Khan could have won a title at welterweight. And he could have done well. Who knows? He could have become unified champ. Who knows? Like I said, Khan at that point was good. And look at that performance against Canelo. That's not to say that could have beaten some welterweights. So yeah, I think it was very disappointing. Very, very disappointing, the Canelo fight in the end when you look at it, because I think Khan would have had a longer I think he would have had a longer time at the top. Now, look, it may have been a case he may have thought Danny Garcia got knocked out. And in that case, then you say, well, I fought Danny Garcia, lost, right? And I could have got a bigger payday with Canelo. But sometimes you have to take risks, especially when you're already, because Khan, irrespective if you fought Canelo or not, he would have been well off, right? And because of his name, he would have got opportunities anyway. I honestly think Khan could have won a welterweight world title. When around the time at Canelo, I think if he had, like, because wasn't Jesse Vargas a champion at that point? Jesse Vargas was a champion. Wasn't Danny Garcia a world champion? All these guys were winnable fights for Khan. They were winnable fights. And look, I think it was a mistake. Not just that, if I'm not mistaken, Maidana fought Mayweather. Obviously, Mayweather beat him. That was a while back, though. But yeah, there was guys, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and there was Brooke. All of these guys were winnable fights. You know, Khan could have gone for the Danny Garcia fight, and that would have been a big fight because of their history. It would have been for a title, and it would have been a winnable fight. Way more winnable than Canelo. And Khan would have known this time what he was expecting. The first time he underestimated Garcia. This time he would be going in there with Virgil Hunter, who's a tactician. He would have had a better chance to win this fight, 100% against Garcia, especially with Virgil in his corner. Virgil would have studied Garcia, and they would have come up with a great game plan to win that fight. And that's why I think the Canelo fight, it doesn't matter what game plan they would have had, they couldn't win. Couldn't win. You know, and yeah, it was a bit disappointing. Very disappointing, because I think Khan could have done so much more. So much more. But unfortunately, I think, as it says, money, you know, greed at times can get the better. Not so much of the boxer, it's the team around him as well. Because the team around him were going to get a payday as well. That's the thing. There's a lot of people in boxing that boxers need guidance. They need good people around them. It's the team that wanted him to fight probably Canelo, because they knew the payday, they know the money that they were going to make. So, yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about what Virgil said. I'd love to know your opinions, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.